Welcome to our daily gospel. The gospel of today is taken from the book of Luke, chapter 12, verses 13. Let's see that together. A man in the crowd said to him, "Master, tell my brother to give me a share of our inheritance." He said to him, "My friend, who appointed me your judge or arbitrator of your claims?" Then he said to them, "Watch and be on your guard against avarice and any kind, for life does not consist in possessions, even when someone has more than he needs." Then he told them a parable. There was once a rich man who, having had a good harvest from his land, thought to himself, "What am I to do? I have not enough room to store my crops." Then he said, "This is what I will do. I will pull down my barns and build bigger ones, and store all my grains and my goods in them. And I will say to my soul, 'My soul, you have plenty of good things laid by for many years to come. Take things easy, eat, drink, have a good time.' But God said to him, 'Fool, this very night the demand will be made for your soul. And this hoard of yours, whose will it be then? Who it is when someone stores up treasures for himself instead of becoming rich of the signs of God." The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. Brothers and sisters, today, this Monday, this beginning of the week, this passage comes here to give us just an alert and to open up our minds and change the way that we see possessions. Most of us know that we do have possessions, and we have to have possessions in order to carry on our lives. We want to have a house, we want to have a car, we want to have the most updated, the most state-of-art smartphone. But sometimes we don't look at what we really need. And that's what the Lord is telling us. Kind of to give you a summary of the passage, in case you did not understand clearly what Jesus is saying here. And the parable says about a farmer and all his grounds, like during the harvest, when he goes there and collects all the grains and storage. He had enough grains. Our harvest was so good that he could storage everything for many years. And what he was planning was he found out that there was nowhere that he could storage his grains. So what he did was, okay, I have this place where I can, which is small for my harvest, I can demolish and build a new one and I storage everything there. And then he said, once I've done that, then I can rest, I can eat, I can drink, and can enjoy my life. And then the Lord said, but on that night, his soul was demanded. So what does that mean? So that night, he wasn't being in this world anymore. And what about all his work, all his hard work? So he would not enjoy what he was trying to get from his harvest. And what the Lord is telling us is, this man had all the money, but instead of becoming rich of the sign of God, he was becoming rich for money. And that comes to a point where are we putting our energy? Are we putting our energy to get rich in possessions, or are we putting our energy in getting the signs of God and get an understanding of the Lord? We have to have that clearly balanced. The understanding that we need possessions, we need to have some substantial stuff for living, but also on the top of it, we need to have God and we need to have His signs. And that's why when you go to the Mass every Sunday and we are there, we receive the Holy Communion, is where we get nourished. It's there where we can find, is where the harvest starts. Is where the whole process of plantation starts. So Jesus is just putting into your heart, inside of your heart, that seed which you grow and later on will be harvested. So I want you to understand that I'm not saying you should not have anything. You should not have possessions. That's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying in here, don't get me wrong, is that we need to look at God and look at His things as well as having possession, but looking at the God with His special way. I'm sure that if we start giving to the Lord all our most precious asset, which is our heart, our time, our life would be way better than it is. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next week.